Welcome back on Electrical 2. So today is gonna be a step forward with our electrical engineering 2, because so far we have done our series circuit, but now we are going to move a bit forward and start with a parallel circuit. And then as you can see, the concept still the same. This rectangular form here is your impedance, because remember, what is an impedance? The representation, we wrote it in form of a block, and an impedance can either be a combination of what? A resistor and an inductor. The combination of the two will be an impedance, and then we have explained already how to get it. Okay? And then we say every time we have a combination of the two, it's going to be R plus J XL. Another impedance we can have, it's going to be a RC circuit, a combination of a resistor and an inductor, where we can say Z is going to be equal to R minus J XC. We have explained already what to do with it. We have another type, which is a RLC, a combination of the three components. So a combination of any of the three is going to give us what we call an impedance. You get a point? So a combination of the three components is what makes our impedance. So what you need to do is to know how to get your impedance according to which type of combination they're going to give you. You should master that one. Okay? So we're going to take the same concept of the combination of resistor, inductor, capacitor. Now we're going to go and work with them under a parallel circuit. But before we do our parallel circuit, we need to recall what is the concept behind a parallel circuit. Okay? So we have our source here. As you can see, you have a positive, negative, or a sign here. This will give us the direction of our electron, which means our direction of the current is going in this direction. Okay? So you have a current total, we can call the current from the supplier. On this junction, what's happened to the current? The current split in two. So you have your I2 and then you have your I1. Okay? Using your Kirchhoff current law, using your Kirchhoff current law, junction rule on this point, what do you understand? You can see that our current supplier is going to be equal to I1 plus I2. So in a parallel circuit, what we get there is that the current in the branch is going to be different. The current is not equal. Okay? But look here. After this current split in two, okay? If you have a positive leg here and then you have a negative leg here, okay? What you realize that you're going to have a voltage drop here, V1 and V2, okay? But now, this voltage here, what happens is that the supplier voltage is going to be equal to what? V1 is going to be equal to V2, okay? In a parallel circuit, the voltage is the same across all the components, but the current is different. So that's what you need to keep in mind, okay? And other thing you have to keep in mind is that this block here is the impedance, and an impedance is a combination of the three components: resistor, capacitor, and inductor. So it may happen that they come here, they give you a combination of a resistor and an inductor. Or they give you a combination of a resistor and a capacitor, okay? So first thing, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go here and calculate your total impedance. You mean you calculate the impedance. What's gonna be the value of our Z1? Our Z1 is going to be what? R plus J XL. The value of our Z2 is gonna be equal to what? R plus J XC. So this is just gonna be some of the combination that may happen in the circuit, but everything else is the same. If you understand what is your power factor, if you understand how to do your phasor diagram, anything else here is just the matter of you playing with the impedance. Okay? So let's try and have a look on another example that you may have in the circuit. Okay? So let's say we come in the problem where they give us a combination of a resistor and an inductor, they call it to be a coil. And then here we have a resistor, and then we have another series there. Can you see that? Something like this. Okay? It may happen they give us something like this. Okay? But the first thing we need to write it down is that the combination of a resistor and an inductor give us what? One blocks, which we call an impedance. So you can call this to be ZL, and then we calculate it. How do we calculate it? It's gonna be R plus J XL. So after getting this impedance, which means the two disappear, the two become an impedance. Okay? And then here, what's happening again? We have a Z code. Can you see? We can call it Z code 1, and then we call it Z code 2. Okay? And then what's happened? This is going to give us what? R plus J XL. And then this will become one block, which we call an impedance ZL2. Okay? Here we have what? A resistor. Okay? And then we start the resistor in form of impedance going to be what? The pure resistance or the triangle of what? Of 0. So this is going to be a one block. Okay? If you have to look for our equivalent circuit, what do? We have the parallel branches between the two. So we're going to calculate our Z parallel, which is going to be Z times ZL2 over Z plus ZL2. So this, all of that become one impedance. All of that become one impedance, which is called to become Z parallel. So which means everything else here will disappear. To become one impedance. Okay? But this Z parallel is also in series with what? With that impedance, and therefore our Z equivalent of the circuit is going to be Z parallel plus our ZL1. Okay? And in the final, this will become one block, and which we call our Z equivalent, and therefore everything disappear here. Can you see? So the concept is still the same as in electrical one, but now we are dealing with them in form of impedance. So what you need to know is to master how to deal with a different type of combination, how to get the impedance. But anything else is the same. Your Ohm's law still the same, where we say the voltage I, but here now we have what? An impedance, because everything is all about a magnitude and an angle. It's in complex form. Okay? So after doing this introduction, from what we did in our series circuit calculation, you can be able really to start with your calculation with a parallel circuit. And then I will continue with problem solving video in the next coming video.